Is your package late? Again? You tapped Buy Now on Saturday. The system promised it would be there by Monday. Maybe even Sunday if you're a Prime member. But it's now Wednesday, and your package is nowhere. A digital receipt says it was sent. Your tracking dashboard reads, "In transit." But what does that mean? In what? On a truck? A plane? Sitting in a bin in a city you've never heard of? Or worse, has it vanished? This isn't just annoying. It's structural. Your package is trapped inside one of the most complex and flawed systems ever built for a modern consumer economy. We call it logistics. But there's one villain nearly every carrier faces. From USPS to UPS, FedEx to Amazon. It's called the last mile. Every single day, more than 110 million packages move through the United States shipping infrastructure. That's over 4,500 packages every second. And that number? It's rising. Online shopping isn't the future anymore. It's the standard. Amazon alone processes an average of 66,000 orders per hour. That's 1,100 per minute, just on their platform. Combined with Shopify sellers, eBay vendors, Etsy creators, regional warehouses, and large-scale supply chains, the volume quickly spirals into a logistical arms race. One that demands speed, efficiency, and invisibility. You buy it, you expect it, you click. That click sets off a sequence of events that should work like clockwork, but clocks like shipments don't always arrive on time. In 2005, the introduction of Amazon Prime redefined what people should expect from delivery. Two-day shipping wasn't the innovation, it was the promise of two-day shipping. Limitless, predictable, and free. Free until something goes wrong.
The modern customer assumes a delivery window that is often physically impossible in the current state of American infrastructure. They think it's unreliable tech, but it's really about the unsolved reality of distance, traffic, labor, and edge scenarios.
It feels instant, but your package is hundreds, sometimes thousands of miles away. And once it begins its journey, there's no Wi-Fi connected directly to your box, no GPS on a pencil case, no live updates from a box of dog treats. Instead, you get status updates that often lag behind reality. You might think of in transit as movement, but more often than not, it's a placeholder, a shrine to a system's dream, perfect visibility. It doesn't always work, so what's gone wrong? To understand why your package is actually late, it's not enough to blame bad service. You need to trace the mechanics of geography, the limits of human capacity, the friction in networks, and the one thing no tech has fully conquered. Delivering something from a facility near your city to your actual doorstep. That's the last mile. And that's where most delays happen. But before that, let's start at the very beginning. Somewhere in a neighborhood in Portland, Oregon, an order is dropped off at a local post office. It's scanned by a clerk, a simple beep, a printed receipt, and thus begins your package's odyssey across the continent. The first scan, the digital baptism. You got your email, didn't you? Your item has been accepted at a USPS origin facility. So begins the illusion. Inside each package is more than a product. It's a timeline, an expectation, a silent deal between your money and someone else's distance. But here's the secret nobody tells you. Just because your package got scanned doesn't mean it got sorted. And just because it got sorted doesn't mean it started moving.
Sometimes we scan 200 packages an hour under heavy volume. If a bag fills up and gets set aside, it's not touched until the next shift. Sometimes not even that day.
Each of those steps is a potential point of friction. A moment where one human decision pushes your package into delay territory. And yet, every update you see still reads, in transit to next facility. Technically true, entirely misleading. Most distribution centers are now managed by AI, but powered by humans. Humans who are responsible for moving over 4,000 packages a day, each. Inside this staggering load, it's easy for one label to go unscanned, especially if it's smudged, misprinted, or wrapped over an edge. And this is often where your timeline gets erased. Not lost, not stolen, just unscanned.
Most late packages were never actually lost in transit. They were sitting, physically unmoving, inside the carrier's own network. The data just had no way to confirm it.
When you clicked Order Now, you were entering a contract, one which assumes that every single point in that journey works together like an orchestra. But orchestras need conductors. Logistics is an unstructured jazz performance with drones, diesel, and desperation. And the first few notes, they're often offbeat. One small missing scan in the very first leg can throw every status afterward into confusion. Your package won't move through the system like others. It bypasses automations, it enters manual handling, it becomes a problem instead of a process. And yet you never know, because the system is designed to maintain optimism. It shows green lights. Even when behind the scenes it's searching for a rogue box that hasn't moved in 18 hours. And you, staring at your phone, just keep refreshing. Tomorrow your tracking still won't change. And the package, still sitting in a yellow bin, 85 miles from you. Your package left the local post office, probably tucked into a large canvas sack with hundreds like it, and entered the twilight zone of modern logistics, the regional sorting depot. To most customers, it's invisible. What you see instead is a vague tracking update. Arrived at facility, that sounds official, safe, maybe even organized, but inside something very different is happening. This is not a place, it's an ecosystem. The depot is a high-speed, semi-automated, labor-intense bottleneck designed for two things: classify what's arrived and blast it in the direction where it's supposed to be going next. At peak load, some facilities process more than 1 million parcels in 24 hours. That's one every 0.08 seconds per belt. Your package joins a stream, one of dozens, flowing through an intricately choreographed ballet of barcode scanners, proprietary software systems, belt networks, weight sensors, motion gates, and humans. So many humans. All it takes is one brief moment for the entire system to hiccup. Missed scans happen more than you'd think. A label might be slightly torn. It jams. A package could fall off a belt and get picked up an hour later by another shift. Sometimes, a supervisor reroutes it by hand and forgets to update the system. The package isn't lost. The data is. We tracked over 42,000 reporting instances of delayed deliveries in 2024. In 89% of those cases, there was no evidence the package had left the depot when the tracking said it had, because scanners are fired off manually against quota targets, because updates aren't always real-time, and because there's a dirty little industry secret: sometimes packages are marked departed even when they're still in the building. It's not fraud, it's fear of missing metrics.
We're told, if the truck should have left by now and tracking hasn't updated, push the departure scan through early. The truck might be in the parking lot still loading, but the system needs that tick box green.
The deeper you go into the logistics web, the more you realize there's no such thing as a standard journey. Yes, there are protocols. Yes, there are routes. Yes, there are expectations, but every package is a coin toss, and sometimes yours loses. This shelf holds packages that didn't get scanned properly, that triggered weight anomalies, or that need to be entered into routing manually. There's no buzzer to remind workers it's sitting there. Your package just waits. Memphis, Tennessee. It's 2:13 a.m. at the world's second largest air freight hub. Your package, still nestled inside a padded envelope, lies deep inside container 4B of flight 319X. Next stop, Newark, New Jersey. But above the clouds, a storm brews. Flight 319X, diverting to Chicago due to severe turbulence over Kentucky. Your package veers 700 miles off course. This is what logistics teams call a weather event, and they're not as rare as you'd think. In 2024 alone, there were over 38,000 weather-related flight and rail reroutings in the U.S. storms. Fog, fires, flooded roads, heat waves that melt pallets, and cold snaps in Colorado that freeze truck door mechanisms shut. Weather is the single biggest uncontrollable delay source in the middle mile. When your plane gets rerouted, packages start missing connections. Cargo shipments are prioritized by urgency, business contracts, insurance, and federal regulations. Your Bluetooth headphones? Not top priority.
If a flight misses a connection window, the entire day's delivery symmetry gets thrown off, and it's nearly impossible to claw that time back. Packages get delayed by a full 24 hours, even if they're just one plane late.
Every time a shipment has to be manually unpacked, reclassified, and relabeled, the chances of human error multiply. Your package could be assigned to the wrong belt, sent to the wrong city, misplaced during manual override, or not updated at all. And still, your phone reads, in transit. The storm over Tennessee didn't just delay your flight. It diverted 3 others. It grounded trucks due to unsafe icy roads in Ohio. It shut down scanners in a Kansas sorting center experiencing power outages. One storm changed 57,000 delivery estimates. Yours? One of them. And remember, while the planes were landing late, the depot workers were still sorting incoming volume. The backlog builds, the queue breaks, the system staggers. And your package? Still in transit. But this isn't the last problem your item will face, because even near your home, on the very last stretch of the journey, the most dangerous delay waits. And it's only 5 miles away. Your package is close now, you can feel it. Tracking still says, in transit. But what you don't know is that it's been saying that for 3 days. It hasn't updated. It hasn't moved. It hasn't arrived. It's stuck in what shippers call the ghost state, the limbo between movement and system error, between optimism and silence. Thursday, 2:17 p.m., in transit to destination. Friday, 9:43 a.m., in transit to destination. Saturday, 8:12 p.m., in transit to destination. Same message. No new scan, no new location. Just the same ambiguous promise. It's on the way. But is it? This is the cruelest illusion in logistics. In transit doesn't mean it's moving. It means they don't know where it is.
The status in transit is often used as a blanket when there's a gap in scan data. It looks clean to the customer, but internally, it's like a foghorn. It tells us this package hasn't been seen by any terminal in a while.
A digital tracking line suddenly stops at a warehouse in Cherry Hill, New Jersey on Wednesday night. There's no exit scan, no arrival at the next terminal. Then nothing. Time passes. Thousands of parcels are scanned, rerouted, delivered. Yours? Nowhere to be found.
We rely on that final scan to trigger the route scheduling. If it gets skipped, the system assumes it's still in transit. That package could be sitting in the wrong bin just 12 feet from the loading dock.
In a depot moving tens of thousands of items by the hour, a package can go unseen for days. A misplaced tote, a dropped bin, a worker out sick, a mislabeled barcode rerouted 3 states away. The software keeps saying it's on the move. It isn't. The ghost status persists, buoyed by silence, and you're still refreshing.
Sometimes a package hits this weird in-between. It's not lost enough to refund, not delayed enough to admit failure. It's just in transit, which buys us 48 more hours.
The system was not designed to be honest. It was designed to be quiet. Monday morning, a package gets suddenly rescanned and sorted. No apology, no reference to the 3 days unaccounted for. Boom, your tracking updates, out for delivery. And just like that, the ghost becomes real again. You're relieved. But now, it actually enters the most dangerous part of its journey. There's a phrase in logistics dreaded by every carrier: the last mile. It's the shortest stretch of the route, but overwhelmingly the costliest, the slowest, and the most failure-prone. And here's the bombshell. Over 99% of shipping delays don't happen between states. They happen within your zip code.
The last mile's brutal. 30 stops an hour. You've got stairs, missing access codes, dogs, reschedules, wrong addresses, customers filming everything with doorbells.
No AI routing system can fully compensate for what's out here. Real humans, in real neighborhoods, unraveling a digital dream, because software assigns deliveries assuming frictionless movement. But life isn't frictionless. You don't realize how much delivery drivers have to improvise. The system gives them a map, but they create their own universe from how that neighborhood behaves. If it says deliver to apt 4B, but everyone's mailbox is downstairs, they're making judgment calls constantly. Your package is now 2 blocks away. The driver looks at the box, looks at the set of stairs. It's raining. They're 11 stops behind. No signature needed. They skip you. Promise, broken. But the tracking, delivery attempted, no access. That's the system's version of a shrug.
We've noticed that last-mile failures often come down to optimization versus reality. The route makes sense in Excel, not in Brooklyn.
It's now 8:49 p.m. Driver shifts end at 9. They have 6 more stops. You're third to last. The driver eyes the clock. 2 routes remain. Deliver your $17 aromatherapy candle. Drive straight to the warehouse, beat traffic, punch out on time. They choose time over a candle. Your package returns to the depot. The app says, delivery rescheduled, next business day. But in reality, it was never even attempted. Expected tomorrow by 9 p.m. You've waited 4 days for a 2-day shipment. Blame the clerk? No. Blame the driver? No. Blame the cloudburst over Tennessee? Actually, no. Blame the system. A dream of perfect digital commerce, choked by real-world logistics. And sadly, the package, it's not even late yet. It starts at 6:02 a.m. Your package, scanned, labeled, sorted, and routed, is now inside a white van with tinted windows and a blinking dashboard. It's not the only one. Roughly 145 other packages share this narrow space. They have exactly one thing in common. They are now the responsibility of one human being, a delivery driver, alone, behind schedule, on caffeine, half listening to navigation apps designed by machines that don't know where the dead dogs are buried or how bad traffic gets at 4:35 p.m. on Chestnut Street. You may imagine the delivery route as a clean, optimized line. Start here, drop there, repeat. The truth? It's more like jazz. Keep tempo, hit the high notes, improvise when the system collapses.
Statistically, delivery drivers make a decision every 11 seconds. Drive time, walking distance, weather, customer instructions, photo proof, dog risk, gate code failure. It's non-stop data processing.
A driver pulls to a stop in a residential area. She checks her device. Package, 74 inches, 13 steps up steep stairs, building has broken buzzer for third floor. No customer phone number on file. She makes the call. Leave it near mailbox. Photo, scan, done. Now repeat. 146 times.
You're assigned an optimized route, sure, but that's based on math. Real life happens in places without cell signal, dense traffic, angry dogs, stairwells with broken elevators. It's not just delivery, it's triage.
The system wants speed. The customer wants perfection. The driver is caught in the middle, and eventually the algorithm begins to work, not for the driver, but against them. Driver's GPS suggests Route A, save 3 minutes. But Route A involves left turns into busy traffic, 2 top-floor units, and no parking. Route B adds 8 minutes, but is easier on foot, and the driver knows the mailboxes are all up front. The driver chooses Route B. The algorithm penalizes deviation. Delay score goes up. Performance metrics dip. The system marks them as inefficient.
We're not driving food, we're driving metrics. Time per stop, scan-to-door ratios, photo confirmation speed. Some days, it's not about getting packages delivered. It's about not getting fired by your app.
This isn't logistics, this is logistical survival. We live in the era of invisible labor, where the illusion of convenience overshadows the people making it happen. Behind every timely package is a body, aching, tired, 167 stops deep into a 10-hour day, running out of gas, time, and patience. Delivery work, for many, sits at the intersection of isolation and algorithmic control. You have bosses, but you rarely see them. You have expectations, but they're generated by software made hundreds of miles away, and still, every time a customer hits track package, the pressure grows.
It's not just about movement, it's about the mindset created by constant performance tracking. Gig logistics workers are essentially playing video games, but with real muscle fatigue, deadlines, and no pause button.
I missed lunch again today. 5th day in a row. Got warned for finishing 22 minutes late. No traffic buffer in the route time. They said I didn't take the delivery photo, but my phone crashed. I cried in my van this morning. Not because of the work, but because I knew I'd have to do it again tomorrow.
Dispatch doesn't want excuses, just scans. Doesn't matter if you're limping with heat stroke or had a flat tire on the highway. The route must be finished. Period. 20-hour shift today, one driver says. 100 plus stops. Had to pee in a bottle.
This final stretch, the end game of your order, remains the most human and the most brutal. We're burning out humans to give consumers same-day delivery. It's not magic. It's exhaustion. A driver, alone at night, places a small package at a doorstep. Rain falling. It's after 10 p.m. Doorbell camera captures the final moment. Slow down, zoom in. Tired eyes, stiff shoulders, hands trembling. They're not just delivering boxes, they're delivering bandwidth for an economic system that's outpaced its ethics. But tomorrow afternoon, they'll be right back here. Because someone, somewhere, will click buy now again. Perfect delivery isn't free. It's just someone else who pays the price. Across the globe, tech companies and the logistics giants they serve are asking a trillion-dollar question. Can machines succeed where humans break down? Can artificial intelligence, automated routing, autonomous delivery vans, and sidewalk robots conquer the final frontier of e-commerce? Can they save the last mile? Or are we just programming new systems to fail faster? Amazon announces same-day drone delivery. News footage shows Jeff Bezos holding a prototype. In a few years, he says, you'll see this regularly. Cut to 2025. Drone projects are still in testing stages in most cities. What happened? Turns out the sky is full of problems. Legal limits, airspace conflicts, flight stability and weather. Obstacles not yet understood by machine learning. Drones sound simple, but until every flight is perfectly known and coordinated, they introduce chaos into an already fragile system. Robotic delivery bot in San Francisco. It tries to cross the street. A pedestrian blocks it. The bot reroutes and gets stuck beside a trash can for 3.5 hours. This is the challenge. The human world wasn't built for machines. It's unpredictable, it's messy, it escalates faster than code can react. Despite millions of dollars invested, what's the longest you've ever waited for a package? Drop your story in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a story like this.